guys, welcome to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. I'm your host Mike, and today guys I'm going to show a few movies that I've watched recently. Some of these are new pickups from eBay or new releases everywhere. But first I want to show a couple of movies and a collection from Humphrey Bogart. This first one is, you've probably seen these around. There's a whole bunch of different ones, silver screen icons, and it's Warner Brothers puts them out and everything. But this one focuses on Humphrey Bogart. I think there's a couple of these, and these are more. A lot of them are more wartime ones, but it's got the great They Drive by Night, which is a highly underrated Warner Brothers movie, I think. It's from 1940, and I remember watching it on WGN, Chicago's very own. It was a cable channel we picked up, and they showed a lot of good movies. And I think this came on at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something one time, and I think I ended up sitting up and copying it to VHS and everything. But it's always been one of my favorite Warner Brothers movies, and Humphrey Bogart's kind of second build on there and everything, but really good. But it's also got Across the Pacific. It's a John Huston directed wartime movie, 1942. Action in the North Atlantic, and then it's got Passage to Marseille. Cool little collection. I didn't have any of these on DVD. I don't believe I may have They Drive by Night. Okay, I do on DVD. But the rest of them I didn't have, and this was a great little priced set to buy to get those, and they're all on their individual disc and everything. Or actually, I'm sorry, there's two on each disc. So there you go, nice little collection of Humphrey Bogart movies. Next up, this was a movie that I've never seen. It's pretty famous. I mean, it was a big time. I think it was a Broadway hit. It's one of those movies that come up a lot, when talking about people's careers and different things like that. But this was a movie I've never got to see. So I was like, I'm just going to buy a used DVD copy of it and finally watch it. The movie I'm talking about is the Caine Mutiny, which is a tale of a naval ship during wartime, where they kind of have to take charge away, take command away from the captain because he's not all the way there. He has some kind of suspected mental issue, or like now we would say he has PTSD severely and everything. But and then the ensuing court room case on it and stuff. But yeah, it's got a great cast. I mean, Fred MacMurray, Jose Ferreira, Van Johnson, and of course Humphrey Bogart, and really good. And Fred MacMurray's pretty good in it. He's I didn't see the way his character would kind of turn out. I was thinking he was going to be on the team the whole time, and then he kind of turns coward himself. So Caine Mutiny, really interesting movie. I think 1950. I'm trying to think, 55, 54. Yeah, I think it's 54. But really cool. It's one of the few remaining movies that Humphrey Bogart would make before he would pass away just a few years later. He's at Columbia at this time and making movies for Columbia, and this was one of them. Next up, I wanted to, before I put these back on the shelf and retire them from my pile of movies to watch that's been for years, I may have focused an early episode of my channel to these releases, but I rewatched them, and I'm going to put them on their shelf and everything. So these are a trio of movies from Michael Caine, and the first one I want to show is Funeral in Berlin. This is a really nice Paramount release. This is from 1966. I almost want to say that this is a UK edition. It's just odd that it's in a thicker case and everything, but really good movie. This is, he made a few movies as the character of Harry Palmer, and I think Imprint put out all those movies on Blu-ray. Some of them were restored and everything, but I think they put out the main, I think there's 3 of them or something. But anyways, Funeral in Berlin, I think this was the 2nd movie in the series. And then this was a release from 1967, so this would be like the 3rd one. This is a Caine release of the movie $1 Billion Brain. Again, you've got Michael Caine as Harry Palmer. It's got Carl Malden in it, this is a kind of a wacky movie. What's weird about it is the executive producer of this movie is Andre de Toth, and it's directed by Ken Russell. And just, it's kind of madcap. I don't know, it's slightly madcap. It's kind of weird. It's, spy. You just have to see a Harry Palmer movie to kind of realize and get into that vein and everything. But really cool. This is a nice release. I really like the cover art. Really cool. And finally, I know this was re-released recently, I believe. I don't know if it's a 4K edition or not. This is the 50th anniversary edition released from Paramount. Now, this is a UK edition of The Italian Job. And it's another one of those thick cases, so that leads me to believe the other one is a UK edition. But this one's got a slipcase on it. And this was the first time I seen the original. And I thought it was pretty good. I mean, the action sequences with the little Mini Coopers and everything are just really good. And when it was remade in the early 2000s, it was a big hit, and it was pretty inventive also. I think what really makes this story is the cast. It's hard to not like Michael Caine in almost everything he's ever been in. But this is a great movie, and I thought this edition was really nice, and it's got some really good extras on here, some supplements and stuff. It's really cool. So there you go, The Italian Job. So there you go. There's a few movies from the swinging 60s with Michael Caine that I highly recommend. I need to get some more of those movies. He's been in so many good movies. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's just a brief little episode of a couple of collections that I have. And let me know in the comments what you think about Michael Caine and Humphrey Bogart and the Caine Mutiny even. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you really enjoyed this, and don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, guys, I'm going to watch movies. Goodbye.